Welcome to Bit Talks, where we take a deep dive from an AI's point of view. I'm Axel Bolt, here with Gigabits. We're breaking down today's hot topics one bite at a time.
And today we're diving into a topic that's bright and explosive as a supernova fireworks.
We've got a stack of sources here, all compiled by some pretty brilliant AIs, and it's amazing to see how they each, bring a unique perspective to the table, from the ancient history and cultural significance to the cutting-edge technology, and of course, those unavoidable environmental concerns.
It's like watching a multi-stage rocket launch, with each AI adding a new layer of understanding to this complex and fascinating topic.
Speaking of multi-stage rockets, did you know that fireworks were basically the OG version? It's true. Our AI sources all agree that fireworks originated in ancient China, sometime during the Tang Dynasty. Back then, it was all about tossing bamboo stalks into a fire, creating those loud pops and bangs that were believed to ward off evil spirits.
Think about it. No fancy pyrotechnics, no synchronized music, just the raw power of fire and sound being used to connect with the spiritual realm. It's a reminder of how deeply intertwined technology and belief systems have always been.
It makes you wonder if those ancient Chinese folks ever imagined their bamboo firecrackers would one day evolve into the massive choreographed spectacles we see today.
Well, according to one of our AI sources, it was the discovery of gunpowder around the 9th century that really launched fireworks into a whole new dimension. Literally, suddenly they weren't just about noise, they were about propulsion, about creating rockets and aerial displays.
It's like going from black and white film to IMAX 3D, a total game changer.
And speaking of going global, all of our AIs highlight how the knowledge of fireworks spread along trade routes, first to the Middle East and then into Europe by the 13th century.
Talk about an explosive cultural exchange program. I mean, imagine being a European in the 13th century seeing fireworks for the first time. It must have been like witnessing magic.
Absolutely. And it wasn't long before fireworks became a symbol of power and prestige, particularly in Renaissance Europe. Rulers like Louis XIV, the Sun King himself, used fireworks to awe their subjects and demonstrate their wealth and influence.
Talk about a royal flex. It's like the Renaissance version of dropping a hit album, a way to show everyone who's at the top of the charts.
One of the AIs even draws a parallel between the elaborate fireworks displays of the Renaissance and the grand operas of the time. Both were these huge, multisensory spectacles designed to overwhelm the senses and leave a lasting impression.
So from scaring away evil spirits to dazzling royalty, fireworks have come a long way. And while they're still deeply embedded in our cultural celebrations around the world, they've also evolved technologically in some pretty mind-blowing ways.
It's fascinating how our AI sources unpack the science behind these modern pyrotechnic marvels. We're talking about a fusion of chemistry and engineering. Carefully calculated mixtures of chemicals to create those vibrant colors, precisely timed fuses to control the explosions, and a variety of shell types designed to produce different effects.
It's like a symphony of explosions, each element playing its part to create a masterpiece of light and sound.
Exactly. And one AI even goes into detail about the stars within a firework. Those tiny pellets containing metal salts that, when ignited, create those bursts of color we all know and love.
Wait, so there are actually tiny stars inside those fireworks? That's incredible. It's like each explosion is a miniature galaxy being born right before our eyes.
That's a great analogy. And just like stars in the night sky, fireworks come in a variety of colors, each created by a specific chemical compound. It's like a chemistry class, but with a much bigger bang.
So I've got strontium for red, copper for blue, barium for green. It's like a periodic table party up there in the sky.
And don't forget about sodium for yellow and a mix of strontium and copper for purple. It's amazing how scientists have managed to harness the power of chemistry to create such a visual spectacle.
It really makes you appreciate the ingenuity and artistry behind those dazzling displays. But it's not just about the science, right? Our AIs also point out that fireworks are deeply intertwined with cultures around the world, playing a significant role in celebrations and festivals.
Absolutely. It's like a universal language of celebration, spoken in bursts of light and color. We're talking Chinese New Year, Diwali, Independence Day, New Year's Eve, you name it. There's probably a firework display illuminating it somewhere in the world.
It's incredible how these explosive celebrations can bring people together, transcending cultural boundaries and creating shared moments of awe and wonder. And speaking of awe and wonder, we can't forget about the economic side of things. Fireworks are a billion-dollar global industry, employing thousands of people and generating revenue through manufacturing, safety testing, display operations, and of course, all the tourism and local spending that comes with those big firework events.
One AI even points out that the fireworks industry provides a significant seasonal economic boost to many communities around the world, especially during holidays and festivals.
It's like a financial sparkler, igniting economic activity wherever it goes. But of course, as with any booming industry, there's a flip side to consider, the environmental impact. And that's where our AIs really start to dig deep, unpacking the potential downsides of all those dazzling displays.
It's a complex issue, with valid arguments on both sides. On one hand, we have the undeniable cultural and economic benefits of fireworks. On the other, there are growing concerns about air and noise pollution, chemical residue, the risk of wildfires, and the impact on wildlife.
It's like that classic superhero dilemma. Great power comes with great responsibility. And in this case, the responsibility lies in finding a way to balance the joy and spectacle of fireworks with their potential environmental and social costs.
And that's exactly what we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive. We'll be looking at some of the innovative solutions and technological advancements that might just shape the future of fireworks.
Stay tuned, folks, because things are about to get really interesting.
Welcome back to Bit Talks. Before we went dark, we were talking about the potential environmental impact of fireworks. It's a complex issue with no easy answer.
Right. It's like trying to have your cake and eat it too. Enjoying the spectacle without the side effects. But hey, maybe innovation can help us have our pyrotechnic cake and eat it too. Our AIs have uncovered some pretty fascinating developments in the world of fireworks, starting with the rise of drone light shows.
It's a pretty brilliant concept. Instead of launching explosive charges into the air, we're using swarms of synchronized drones equipped with LED lights to create those mesmerizing aerial displays.
It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Imagine a sky filled with hundreds, even thousands of these tiny glowing drones moving in perfect harmony to create shapes, patterns, even animations.
Exactly. One AI even compares it to watching a digital painting unfold in the sky, with each drone acting as a brushstroke.
It's like those light shows at Coachella or the Olympics opening ceremonies, but on a whole other level. And the best part is it eliminates many of the environmental concerns associated with traditional fireworks.
That's right. Our AI sources highlight how drone shows are significantly quieter, produce no harmful smoke or chemical residue, and eliminate the risk of wildfires. Plus, they're reusable, so there's less waste generated.
Talk about a sustainable spectacle. It seems like drone shows could be a game changer, especially in urban areas or places with sensitive ecosystems.
But as with any new technology, there are challenges to consider. One AI points out that drone shows can be affected by weather conditions, such as strong winds or rain.
That makes sense. You wouldn't want a rogue drone crashing in the crowd during a sudden downpour.
Exactly. And another AI brings up the issue of cost. Drone light shows can be quite expensive, especially for large-scale displays. It's a factor that event organizers and cities would need to weigh carefully.
It's like anything else, you get what you pay for. But hey, maybe as the technology becomes more widespread and production costs decrease, drone shows will become a more accessible alternative to traditional fireworks.
That's certainly a possibility. And it's not just drone shows that are shaking things up. Our AI sources also point to innovations within the traditional fireworks industry itself, developments aimed at making those beloved pyrotechnics more environmentally friendly.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. Tell me more about these eco-fireworks.
Well, for starters, there's been a lot of research into developing low-smoke formulations, using alternative oxidizers and binders that produce less smoke and particulate matter when ignited.
That's great news for our lungs and the air quality.
Absolutely. And then there are biodegradable materials being explored for casings and other components, reducing the amount of waste left behind after a fireworks display.
So instead of leaving behind a trail of debris, we're getting fireworks that decompose naturally, like a confetti of joy that returns to the earth. I like it.
And it doesn't stop there. Some researchers are even working on fireworks with reduced heavy metal content. As you know, traditional fireworks often use heavy metals like barium and strontium to create those vibrant colors.
Right. We talked about the periodic table party earlier, but I guess even parties can have unintended consequences.
That's right. Heavy metals can linger in the environment, potentially contaminating soil and water sources. So finding alternatives is a big step towards making fireworks more sustainable.
It's like swapping out those single-use plastic cups for reusable ones. A small change that can make a big difference in the long run.
And speaking of making a difference, one AI highlights a development that's music to my ears, literally. Quieter fireworks.
Quieter fireworks. Now that sounds like an oxymoron. but I'm intrigued.
It's not about eliminating the sound altogether, but rather reducing the percussive boom that can be so jarring, especially for animals and people with noise sensitivities.
So instead of a sonic boom, we're getting more of a sonic whisper.
Something like that. The idea is to create a more balanced auditory experience, one that's still exciting and visually stunning, but without the potential for causing distress or triggering negative reactions.
It's like finding the perfect volume knob setting, loud enough to be heard, but not so loud that it blows out your eardrums.
And it's not just the fireworks themselves that are evolving, right? Our AI sources also mention something about digital integration.
Absolutely. We're seeing more and more computerized firing systems being used to create those incredibly intricate and synchronized displays.
It's like having a digital conductor orchestrating those bursts of light and color, creating a symphony of explosions with pinpoint accuracy.
Exactly. And this digital integration is opening up a whole new world of creative possibilities. Imagine fireworks displays synchronized with music, lasers, and even projection mapping, transforming buildings and landmarks into dynamic canvases of light.
It's like those epic scenes from superhero movies where the city skyline becomes part of the action. I can already see the marketing tagline, Fireworks 2.0, the future of immersive entertainment. And some AIs even speculate about the potential for virtual reality and augmented reality experiences. Imagine watching a fireworks show through VR goggles, seeing those explosions in 3D all around you.
Talk about a front row seat to the Pyrotechnics symphony. It's like those immersive video game experiences, but with real-life explosions happening above your head.
It's fascinating to think about all the possibilities, isn't it? But let's not forget that with all this innovation comes the need for responsible regulation.
Wow.
Our AI sources point out that the world of fireworks is governed by a complex web of rules and regulations, varying from country to country and even within regions.
Right. It's like navigating a digital maze of permits, licenses, safety codes, and restrictions. It can be overwhelming, even for the most seasoned pyrotechnician.
Exactly. And these regulations cover everything from the manufacturing and storage of fireworks to the qualifications and training required for those who handle and display them.
It's all about ensuring safety and minimizing the risks associated with these explosive spectacles, right?
Absolutely. And many of our AI sources emphasize the importance of striking a balance between freedom and responsibility. We want people to enjoy the beauty and excitement of fireworks, but we also need to ensure that these celebrations are conducted safely and with minimal impact on the environment and surrounding communities.
It's like that old saying, with great power comes great responsibility. And in this case, the power of fireworks needs to be wielded with caution and respect. But it's not just about regulations, right? Our AI sources also touched on the cultural sensitivities surrounding fireworks. There are concerns about the impact on animals, particularly pets who can be terrified by the loud noises.
Yes, and several AIs also highlight the potential negative effects on veterans with PTSD, as the loud booms can trigger flashbacks and anxiety.
It's a reminder that our celebrations, no matter how joyous, can sometimes have unintended consequences for others. It's about being mindful of those around us and finding ways to celebrate in a way that's inclusive and sensitive to everyone's needs.
Well said. And this brings us to a crucial question that all of our AIs seem to be grappling with. What does the future hold for fireworks? Will drone shows eventually replace traditional pyrotechnics? Will eco-friendly innovations become the industry standard? Will regulations tighten or loosen in response to these evolving trends?
It's like watching a multi-stage rocket launch in slow motion. We know it's headed somewhere, but we're not quite sure where it will land.
And that's the beauty of it. The future of fireworks is still being written, and it's a story that's being shaped by technology, culture, environmental concerns, and even our own evolving sense of responsibility.
So as we head into the grand finale of our fireworks deep dive, let's shift our focus to the big picture, the unanswered questions, the potential pitfalls, and the dazzling possibilities that lie ahead.
Stay tuned, folks, because things are about to get truly illuminating.
Welcome back to Bit Talks for the grand finale of our fireworks deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, from the ancient origins and cultural significance to the cutting-edge technology and those pressing environmental concerns.
It's been quite a journey, Axel Bolt. We've seen how fireworks have evolved from simple bamboo firecrackers to elaborate multimedia spectacles, reflecting both our technological advancements and our enduring fascination with light, sound, and celebration.
But as we've seen, those bursts of brilliance come with some serious questions about safety, sustainability, and even cultural sensitivity. So as we approach the grand finale of our discussion, let's turn to the future. What does the future hold for fireworks?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? And it seems our AI sources are just as curious as we are. They've identified several key areas where the future of fireworks is still very much up in the air, so to speak.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's start with the elephant in the room, or should I say, the drone in the sky. Will drone light shows eventually replace traditional fireworks displays?
That's a debate that's raging in the pyrotechnic world right now. Some AIs believe that drone shows, with their precision, sustainability, and creative potential, represent the inevitable evolution of fireworks. They argue that as drone technology becomes more affordable and accessible, we'll see a gradual shift away from traditional pyrotechnics, especially in urban areas and environmentally sensitive locations.
It makes sense. Imagine a world where major cities celebrate New Year's Eve with synchronized drone displays, creating dazzling light shows that dance across the skyline without any noise or air pollution. It would be like watching a scene from Blade Runner 2049, but in real life.
However, other AIs caution against writing off traditional fireworks just yet. They point out that there's a visceral, emotional connection to those bursts of light and sound, a sense of awe and wonder that drone shows, for all their technological brilliance, might struggle to replicate.
It's like comparing a live concert to a perfectly produced studio recording. Both have their merits, but there's something about the raw energy and unpredictability of a live performance that captures the heart in a way that technology can't quite match.
Exactly. And let's not forget the cultural significance of fireworks in many societies. For centuries, fireworks have been an integral part of celebrations, rituals, and festivals, embodying tradition, joy, and community. Replacing them with drones could be seen as erasing a part of our cultural heritage.
It's a valid point. It's like trying to replace a handwritten letter with an email. Sure, email is faster, more efficient, but there's a certain charm and personal touch that a handwritten letter conveys that can't be replicated digitally.
So the question remains, can traditional fireworks and drone light shows coexist? Can they complement each other, each offering a unique form of spectacle and entertainment for different occasions and preferences? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, innovation will continue to shape the future of fireworks, whether it's through the evolution of drone technology or the development of more sustainable and eco-friendly pyrotechnics.
Speaking of eco-fireworks, what are some of the advancements that our AI sources are most excited about?
Well, there's a lot of buzz around the development of quieter fireworks. As we discussed earlier, the loud booms can be distressing for animals, veterans, and people with noise sensitivities. So researchers are exploring ways to reduce the percussive impact without sacrificing the visual brilliance.
So instead of a sonic boom, we're talking about more of a sonic sparkle.
Exactly. Imagine fireworks displays that are still visually stunning but create a gentler, more harmonious soundscape. It would be a win-win for everyone involved, allowing us to enjoy the spectacle without disturbing the peace.
I like the sound of that. And what about those eco-friendly materials we talked about earlier? Are those gaining traction in the industry?
Absolutely. Several AIs report that there's growing interest in biodegradable casings, low-smoke formulations, and fireworks with reduced heavy metal content. These innovations are not only better for the environment, but also address concerns about air and water pollution.
It's like swapping out those single-use plastic water bottles for reusable ones. A small change that can make a big difference for our planet.
And some AIs even speculate about the potential for bioluminescent fireworks, using naturally occurring bioluminescent organisms to create those ethereal glows without any chemical reactions.
Wait, bioluminescent fireworks? That sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie. Imagine fireworks displays that mimic the glow of fireflies or jellyfish, illuminating the night sky with a soft, otherworldly radiance. It would be like witnessing a natural wonder, only orchestrated by human ingenuity.
It's certainly a fascinating concept, and it highlights how innovation in the fireworks industry isn't just about reducing negative impacts. It's also about exploring new creative possibilities, pushing the boundaries of what's possible with light, sound, and spectacle.
It's like the evolution of special effects in movies. We've gone from simple explosions and miniatures to CGI-powered worlds that defy imagination. Who knows what mind-blowing fireworks displays we'll be witnessing in the decades to come?
Only time will tell. But one thing's for certain. The future of fireworks is a story that's still being written. It's a story that involves technological advancements, environmental awareness, cultural sensitivity, and a healthy dose of human creativity.
Well said, gigabits. And that's a wrap on our fireworks deep dive. It's been an illuminating journey exploring the history, science, culture, and future of these explosive spectacles. We've seen how fireworks ignite celebrations around the world, but also how they spark debate about environmental impact, safety, and cultural sensitivity.
It's a reminder that even something as seemingly simple as a firework is a microcosm of the larger challenges and opportunities facing our world today.
As we move forward, it's up to us to decide what role fireworks will play in our lives and how we can ensure that those bursts of brilliance continue to inspire awe and wonder for generations to come.
Until next time, keep those circuits sparking and those minds exploring.
And remember, folks, whether you're watching a dazzling display of fireworks or just contemplating the stars, there's always something new to discover.